Hello, hello, I'm Plasmatical, and welcome to the 5th day of Inktober. Today's prompt is Raven. Like many people, I'm sure, my first thought at the prompt was The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Rather than a narrator having his downfall, I drew the actual raven itself in distress. As for a plan of execution, there wasn't really one. I knew I wanted to make the piece semi-photorealistic, but not actually photorealistic because 1, I don't think I can actually do photorealism with pens, and 2, I hate doing photorealism. It's just so stressful for what will probably not even look that realistic in the end. I'm capable of doing it with pencils, but I would have to work my way up there for ink since there's absolutely no going back once the stroke is on the page. I decided to work in sections, like rendering a whole wing, and then the head, then another wing, that kind of thing. I figured it would be easier to get a technique down on one area before I tried tackling the entire bird. But I don't really know how to describe the actual process. It's a very, streamlined process that you follow once you know how to add value to a figure. You get a light base, then you start darkening the shadows, work your way up from there. I usually work with a scribbling circles technique for realism, because I just like how it adds texture but allows the transition areas to be soft. But that's when I work with pencils, colored or graphite. With ink, that's not a very productive technique since you can control how heavy the line is, but not how dark the actual ink is. Like I'm working with black pens here, I don't have any grays or blues to create depth that way. So instead of circles, I just use actual scribble marks. It looks messy at first, but as I work the shadows around more and more, it starts to blend together and it creates a controlled rough surface. However, I didn't want to have that same texture everywhere, especially since I'm not defining every individual feather, so over the really dark areas, I slapped down some hatching just to break up all the scribbling. And that's how it's done. I'm not getting super technical with it. I don't have a specific light source in mind other than a general fill, but it still looks pretty put together this way. If I'm being honest, I'm really surprised with myself on how this came out. I did not think I had it in me to do some semi-realistic piece with pens. It's that stylized realism look, like the feather placement, so that would have been a nightmare to actually make realistic. I choose my battles when it comes to art, but there are levels to this I was not aware I could do. To finish off, I fill in those loose feathers that the raven is losing as it tumbles through the air. And it's done! Here I was thinking that Vessel would be my favorite piece overall, but dang, this one came out really good too. That's all for today though, so I'll see you in day 5 of Inktober for next time. Bye bye!